you know?
Sounds rough, man.
Well, it's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala, too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, like all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
You know who said...
No. Puffy invited me for weeks asking me to come and teach him wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. He's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay, so then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to...
Come on now, dog.
That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh.
Come on, man.
Now I get it.
When Katt Williams opens his mouth, it's never just jokes, it's warnings wrapped in punchlines, and this time he didn't come to play at all. Katt stepped into the spotlight, talking heavy about Sean Combs and that looming trial that's got the whole industry sweating bullets. According to Katt, what's coming isn't just another celebrity court case, it's a full-on exposure moment that's been brewing for decades. And he made it clear that too many powerful people are nervous right now. He didn't whisper. He didn't tiptoe. He straight up said this trial could crack the code on how fame really works behind closed doors, and that's why the energy feels different this time. Katt broke it down like only he can, saying this isn't about rumors anymore. It's about patterns, paperwork, witnesses, and years of silence finally getting loud. He even joked that Hollywood loves to laugh at truth until truth walks into a courtroom wearing a suit, then suddenly everybody loses their sense of humor. The crowd went crazy, but the message was dead serious. Katt hinted that certain names won't be shocked when details come out because they already know, and that line alone had people rewinding clips like crazy.
What's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years.
He made it clear he's not guessing, he's not speculating. He's talking from years of watching the same cycles repeat, where power protects power until it can't anymore. That's when things jumped to another level, because Joe Rogan and Terrence Howard reacted live, and their faces said everything words didn't. Joe leaned back, eyebrows raised, clearly processing the weight of what Katt was implying, while Terrence went quiet in that way that tells you someone's mind is racing. Joe didn't dismiss it, didn't laugh it off. He actually said the vibe around this case feels heavier than usual celebrity drama, like there's real structure behind it this time. Terrence followed up by saying power has a way of turning people invisible until the spotlight hits, and once it does, there's no hiding. That moment right there changed the tone completely. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was 3 grown men acknowledging that something big is unfolding in real time. Katt circled back saying people love calling him crazy until the calendar catches up with his predictions, and he dropped that line with a grin that made it sting even harder. He explained that trials like this don't just judge one man. They expose systems, habits, and all the quiet enablers who thought silence was safety. Joe nodded, adding that when comedians, podcasters, and actors all start saying the same thing independently, that's usually a sign something real is moving under the surface. Terrence didn't hold back either, saying history shows moments like this always come after years of denial, and the truth doesn't need permission to show up.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not gonna speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing something, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
Where did you hear it?
Bro, you know how people be talking and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when somebody say, yo, man, I don't F with them, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the, and that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you hear it, and that's what happened. So, and just to hear this, and this new thing where they saying that they got kids coming forward and said that he did that, man, that shit is crazy. And like I just said, that's just something that I heard.
Do all those things, when you give up those things, like when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never gonna be a consequence for what they were doing.
Katt wrapped his first breakdown by warning that fans should brace themselves, because once testimony starts stacking and timelines get laid out, the narrative could flip fast. He said the loudest reactions will come from people who swore nothing was happening, and the quietest ones will come from folks who already knew the storm was coming. The energy in that room felt tense, electric, and uncomfortable in the best way possible. Joe summed it up by saying this might be one of those cultural moments people reference years later, asking where everyone stood when the curtain finally got pulled back. And Terrence closed the moment by saying truth has its own gravity. Once it starts falling, everything nearby gets pulled in whether it's ready or not. No jokes, no soft landings, just raw acknowledgement that something major is loading up right in front of everybody's eyes. The conversation didn't cool down after that. It actually got sharper, louder, and way more uncomfortable as the dots kept connecting. Katt doubled down and said people keep treating this situation like a surprise when it's really just the overdue receipt finally printing out. He explained that when someone stays powerful for too long without real accountability, the crash isn't small, it's structural, and that's why so many folks are nervous right now. He said entertainers are trained to distract, smile, and redirect, but courtrooms don't care about charisma or legacy. They care about timelines, facts, and who stayed quiet when they shouldn't have. Joe jumped back in, pointing out that the public is way more aware now than it was 10 or 20 years ago, and once people start seeing patterns, they don't unsee them. Terrence added that society is at a point where fans don't automatically defend fame anymore, they question it, and that shift alone changes everything. The energy felt like three perspectives colliding from different lanes but landing on the same conclusion. Something real is unfolding and there's no button to pause it.
Yeah, no, it's great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seen to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then No, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
I have 3 right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
This is a special birthday for both of us.
Yeah.
Katt made it clear this trial isn't just about one person standing in front of a judge. It's about years of behavior being re-examined under a brighter light. He said people confuse success with immunity, and that's the biggest lie ever sold in entertainment. According to him, when stories start lining up across decades, cities, and witnesses, that's no longer coincidence. That's a pattern begging to be addressed. Joe nodded and said the scariest thing for powerful people isn't false accusations. It's consistent ones that won't go away. Terrence took it a step further, saying power doesn't disappear quietly. It resists, it deflects, and it tries to rewrite history until it can't anymore. That line hung heavy in the air because everybody watching knew exactly what he meant. Katt smirked and said, history always wins eventually, it just takes patience, and patience is something the truth always has. They also talked about how the industry reacts when situations like this start bubbling up. Katt said the first move is always silence, then distraction, then character attacks, and finally denial wrapped in public relations language. Joe added that social media sped the whole process up because now people can compare notes in real time instead of waiting years for confirmation. Terrence pointed out that silence isn't neutral, it's a decision, and that line hit hard. Katt followed by saying the loudest defenders are often the most exposed emotionally because they're protecting more than just an image.
So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you punch them in the mouth, knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're gonna get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out, watch football together.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older,
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public. And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
He warned viewers not to be shocked if opinions flip fast once official details come out because loyalty based on fear doesn't last. Joe agreed, saying once legal documents start speaking, public narratives usually collapse overnight. As the discussion went deeper, Katt reminded everyone that he's been saying versions of this for years, not for clout, but because patterns don't lie. He said people laughed when he talked about power games and comedy, laughed when he talked about control in music, and now suddenly, nobody's laughing anymore. Joe admitted that comedians often end up being accidental historians because they say what others won't while everyone's still pretending. Terrence said truth doesn't always come from the loudest voice. Sometimes it comes from the one that never changed their story. That moment felt like a quiet agreement between all three of them. Different paths, same destination.
So, you know, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment.
Who's the person that's #1 on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Without a doubt, you are invited.
The message wasn't chaos or panic, it was awareness. Something is shifting and denial won't stop it. Katt closed out his thoughts by saying the trial itself is only the beginning, not the end. He warned that once doors start opening, more questions will follow, and not everyone connected will be ready to answer them. Joe said moments like this reshape culture, not overnight, but slowly through conversations, just like this one.
Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it.
The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kavenshane Wallace.
You haven't ran into to put on the trust. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross.
Terrence added that accountability always feels uncomfortable to people who benefited from silence. The tone wasn't celebratory, it was serious, grounded, and heavy with anticipation. No shouting, no jokes, just 3 voices acknowledging that the spotlight is moving and it's not turning back this time.